Hello guys, welcome back to the channel again. It is your boy Vexed here as usual, and we are back with the Aero League races and the Tier 1 drivers in Season 10, Round 6 I believe this is, at Fuji Speedway. So the guys have been out for qualifying. They are now lined up on the grid in their respective positions. So we got Viking Dog lining up on pole. Marco is there in second place. We got BX in third place. Iggy is in fourth. Ben is fifth. Isaac is in sixth. Owen is in seventh. Rayo Chan, that's a newcomer, is in 8th. Kyle is in 9th. RZ 10th. Chris is 11th. Aero GT is 12th. Tieps is in 13th. Jay Van der Speck is 14th. Lars is 15th. And Andy Winters bringing up the rear in 16th. And actually, that's kind of a nice new thing, isn't it? As I'm actually not doing the live comms at the moment. We're just doing the post comms. You can actually get 16 races in, so actually a full grid for this round. So without further ado, should we get into it? Let's get into it. This is the first one, the sprint race. Waiting for the lights to go out. And there they go. Everybody getting a fairly good getaway. It looked like Marco a little bit dead on the line. BX and Viking Dog managing to pull away easily. In fact, Marco looking up the inside. Was it a BX? No, BX trying to go the long way around on Viking Dog into turn one. Somebody getting shuffled out wide there. That was a Porsche we saw in the background. I think that may have been Chris. So BX has actually managed to move up into the lead of the race for the meantime. Viking Dog still firmly with him though. We've got Marco there as well. These front four very close to each other. Iggy is up there as well. Isaac Mitch is in 5th place currently. Rio Chan up to 6th. Ben's there in 7th, then we got Kyle 8th, Chris 9th, Owen 10th, RZ 11th, Tieps 12th, no, he moves up to 11th, RZ dropping to 12th, Van der Speck there in 13th, Andy Winters 14th, Aero GT 15th, Lars 16th. So BX is now still firmly in the lead of the race as we saw Iggy trying to go up the inside of Viking Dog there, not quite close enough to get that move done. He's not going to get past, oh no he has, he's managed to get past Marco, so managing to get that move done on Marco, the Time Lord of Iggy. He's going to be trying to make his way onto them top two, maybe start trying to challenge them for the front two positions. Oh, as we got a Mercedes making a move on Marco as well. Isaac Mitch going up the inside there. Marco getting a little bit bundled out wide, but he's coming back strong now, so maybe Isaac Mitch just decided to give him back the advantage for that turn, and he will be fighting back for the remainder of the race. So there he is, Isaac Mitch, currently in 6th place. He is trying to take that 5th place, even trying to take that 4th place away from Marco. He's got the inside line into turn 1. Hard braking zone down into turn 1 here. Oh, and Marco, he's actually done the switchback. He's actually switched back over onto the inside. But then Isaac again, oh my God. What a textbook move that was. Isaac didn't fight it. He took the deeper line, managed to get a switchback out of turn 1. Cracking move there. Marco had to try something though, didn't he? So he tried slinging it up the inside. I think Isaac, well aware that it was going to happen, and he just allowed it to happen. Then, as you saw, got the textbook switchback. We got Rayo Chan. Rayo Chan now starting to try and pressure these two as well as Marco goes up the inside of Isaac. Has he? I think he's managed to get through. Rayo Chan right onto the back of both of them. Now they're actually forming a rolling roadblock in front of him. Almost looking like they were trying to make it 3 wide then. Then we got Kyle. Kyle's crept up into the picture as well. He's right on the back of Rayo Chan now. He's in that BRZ. He's had not too much of a bad season so far. He's had some decent results and some shaky ones. Ben up there in 8th place at the moment. Ben's had a bit of a shocker, hasn't he? Not really getting to grips with that 4 GT. But he's currently in 8th place, so that'll be some decent points. Chris is currently up to 9th place. Van der Speck is there in 10th, being chased down by Owen and RZ in the 2 Porsches, 11th and 12th. So maybe the Porsche not so great around here, around Fuji, as Owen tries to go the long way round on Van der Speck. I think he's managed to get it done though, Van der Speck holding that position for the meantime. He's got his teammate for company there as well as Owen. His teammate looking up the inside now into this turn. Will Owen back out? No, Owen's kept his boot in, so no team orders there. Andy Winters up to 13th. Tieps is there in 14th. Lars is 15th, and Aero GT is 16th. So Viking Dog now managing to find his way back past BX. BX may be dropping a wheel off the track somewhere, possibly. Slight little error between these two as they are so close on pace. That's all it takes, is one slight error and the other guy will be through. Iggy still managing to stay with him though as well, so Iggy still up there in the top three. Viking Dog has actually got the fastest lap at the moment, 1:38.3. And I can tell you that coming into this round, I think it was coming into this round, or it may have been after this round, I'd have to have a look at the standings again, but Viking Dog is your new standings leader with 2 rounds to go, so I think it may have been after this round actually, in fact. But with only 5 points deficit between him and Marco in second place, so all still to play for as they go into the final 2 rounds. So Viking Dog looking to try and stretch his legs now. He's trying to create a bit of breathing space to BX. BX not making it easy though. The gap is still very stable. He's not dropped off too much. Iggy still there as well. So Iggy still putting, oh, as he has a bit of a moment on the exit of that turn. He's managed to save it, but that could have been game over there for Iggy. Isaac still up in 4th place. Marco actually dropping down to 5th now. Marco looking like he's still under some pressure from Reo-chan. Marco has been a bit of a force to be reckoned with this season. He almost dominated the first, I think it was the first 3 or 4 rounds. Looking like nobody was going to be able to touch him. Currently sat in 5th place. And you have got Ray there as well. Ray is definitely trying to put that pressure on, isn't he? He's got that 0.5 second penalty, but what can he do? Can he get rid of that penalty and maybe try and make up a few more positions? He could break into that top 5 potentially. Although looking like he may be under threat from Ben. Ben moving up a position to 7th. He's had to look up the inside. Reo-chan closing the door late. Leaving nowhere for Ben to go. Ben was good on the brakes there. That was lucky. He didn't run into the back of him, to be fair. That was a very late move under braking. Van der Speck, currently 8th place. Trying to chase Ben down and keep the small gaggle of cars behind him as they come under the Waco barrier. So Van der Speck now actually looking like he's under pressure from Owen. Owen looking like he's trying to set a move up. A couple of corners back. See, he just seems to be pushing a bit more on the exits, doesn't he? Closing that gap up, maybe trying to stay away from Kyle as well. He's not too far behind them. And that BRZ has looked fairly quick this season, to be fair, it has to be said. Maybe not one of the more consistent cars. Chris up to 11th. RZ firmly in his toe. Andy Winters there in 13th. Aero GT, that's uncharacteristic for Aero, all the way down in 14th at the moment. Lars is there in 15th, and Tieps dropped all the way to 16th, so maybe the M6 really not favouring this track at all. Meanwhile, Viking Dog, he's putting consistent 1 minute 38s from lap 2. So definitely remaining very consistent around here, around Fuji. BX, he's tried to keep that gap, hasn't he? But I think he's maybe used a little bit too much of that rubber. We're 9 minutes in now. I think it's a 15-minute sprint race, this one. 15 or 20, and then we've got the 40-minute endurance feature race. I think BX currently sat in 3rd in the standings. I think Iggy not far behind him in 4th. Shall I quickly pull the standings up? I think I've only got them after this round. Although we could try and find. Right, so coming into this round, Sakura was in the lead with 165, Viking Dog behind him with 153. Now the gap between them two was 12 points coming into this round. BX Royal, as I said, was in 3rd place with 144, and then Iggy 4th with 126, and Owen rounds out the top 5 with 109 points. So after this round, we'll get a rundown through the standings after this round as well, or in the final race. In the feature race, at the end of the feature race. So Viking Dog still in 1st place, BX Royal is there in 2nd place. We've got Iggy in 3rd place as the clouds descend around the track. It does look like it is starting to get a little bit moist out there at Mount Fuji. We've got Marco there up to 4th place again. He's managed to get back past Ryo-chan. Has he? No, we've lost somebody, haven't we? Somebody else was up there, weren't they? I'm thinking maybe Owen. So Ryo-chan up to 5th place now in that Lamborghini. He's got Isaac Mitch not far behind him in 6th. Will them tyres hold on though? Will they last to the end of this race? Ben is up to 7th. He's still in 7th place. Can he make up any more positions? Will he possibly... Oh, well, actually, everybody diving into the pits now. So are they going to be putting on wet weather tyres? I'm not too sure. Everybody is diving into the pits. This is interesting because this is obviously the sprint race, so you wouldn't expect everybody to be heading into the pits, but they in fact are. What tyres are they going to put on? BX is going to come out ahead of everyone, is he? No. Viking Dog, so Viking Dog out on the intermediates. It looks like BX going for the full wets. And you can see the wipers go in, so yeah, the heavens have opened up. It has got very sketchy out there. You're going to see the cars starting to fight for grip now. And it is raining proverbial cats and dogs. So who's had the better strategy decision, whose mechanics, whose engineers have been on it and got them out on the right tyres? It's looking at the moment like maybe Viking Dog making the better strategy call. Opting to go onto them intermediates, but will they hold out? Because that weather is coming down really hard, isn't it? I think it is going to go into full wet conditions. Come on, Viking Dog, can he do it? Can he keep hold of that race lead, or is he going to lose the race lead through going on to them intermediates? I'm not too sure. BX not too far behind him now. He dropped a little bit off, didn't he, towards the start when they first came out of the pits, but the track conditions are steadily getting worse. I can honestly say I wouldn't want to be driving in these conditions, and as you go on board with BX, look at it, it's absolutely treacherous out there at the moment, isn't it? It's definitely coming into that full wet window. So maybe BX going to be able to make the use of them full wets and get onto the back of Viking Dog again, maybe take that race lead away from him. But he has also got Iggy to contend with as well. Iggy is not too far behind at the moment. I do feel for Iggy though, he's got no roof on that car, so he's going to be getting absolutely soaked at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he's kept a bucket on board just so he can start trying to bail some of that water out. As he's looking up the inside now, he's going to get the move done as they come into turn one. He's got to run. He's had to brake early because he's on the inside. It's going to be the wetter line. So not managing to get it done that time round. And it is definitely full wet conditions out there now, isn't it? For sure. So we will have a look how the rest of the field are doing. We'll just have a quick look at Viking Dog. So Viking Dog is still out in first place. He's got a nice gap, but he is on the intermediates. It does look like he's got a little bit sketchy out there for him. BX is still in second place, holding Iggy off in third. Front three, fairly close to, well, the 2 and 3 are very close to each other. One, Viking Dog starting to stretch his legs a little bit now. And then we've got Marco and Reo-chan. So Marco opting for the full wets. Reo-chan going up his inside. He has got that move done, hasn't he? He's managed to move up to 4th place. And Marco looking like he's a little bit on the back foot in these wet conditions. Down to 5th place now. Isaac Mitch there in 6th. Ben is still in 7th. Looking like he may be able to challenge Isaac for that 6th position. He's on the intermediates. Isaac is on the wets. And it's coming into the final lap. So we will have to find the race leader. I think Andy Winters, I think this is going to be his final lap. And he finishes in 15th place, so he'd had enough of that one, stayed out on the mediums. Didn't really work for him. So we've got on board with our race leader. It looks like he's going to bring it home and make it 1 out of 2 in this round. He's going to take the win in the sprint race, so that was a good strategy call there for Viking Dog. He chose the intermediates, and it seemed to pay off for him, just having a slight pace advantage over the rest of the field. So BX, he's going to finish 2nd place. Iggy will finish in 3rd. Reo-chan, what a great finish for him, 4th place. Marco's going to bring it in with 5th. Isaac Mitch is 6th place. Ben is going to finish 7th. Owen is 8th. Kyle 9th. Capillary GT 10th. RZ, he's going to bring it in 11th place. Then we got Lars in 12th. Tieps 13th. So made up a few places at the end there. And Chris, he's going to bring it home in 14th place. Wow, the weather definitely threw a spanner in the works, didn't it, for a few of them drivers? Well, that was the first race, guys, anyway, and we'll be back with a feature race. Hope you enjoyed that one. I've been your boy Vex. Good night.